Hey everybody, it's Thunder. Just thought I'd come on for a minute, let you know I'm still hanging around here. Uh, Not much to talk about, really. I noticed Putin gave a really nice State of the Union, or whatever they call it over there, a really nice address. I watched that in its entirety. You can see it on YouTube if you Google, Putin's RT Putin's State of the Union address or what, or 2014. It's kind of hard to find, actually. Said some really good things, kind of makes you wish he was over here in the U.S. instead of where he is now. And he addressed it all, so I encourage people to take a gander at that. Just wanted to say a little bit about these shootings that have been going on and the grand jury or whatever, the decisions by the grand jury whether to indict police officers or not. Well, of course they're not going to indict them. And as usual, they get off scot-free. And then first we had the Ferguson one, which you all know about, and then we have the New York one where they strangled some guy. Basically what it amounts to is cops shoot people. And I told people before, I've told you before, on many occasions, that they dummy the evidence. They if they're going to lie about everything else, don't you think they're going to lie about that? It's a police state, people, plain and simple. Over and out, Just want to mention real quick on the Ferguson thing and the grand jury decision on that. Just about the same time that came out, there was a deal where some guy had recorded the actual gunshots, the audio, and it completely conflicted with the cop's testimony as how long it would take the guy to run at him and get shot and fall down and blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is the guy would have had to been a marathon sprinter, world class, and he wasn't. The guy that got shot, Brown, I guess his name is, he would have had to been a world-class marathon sprinter for things to have happened the way the cop says that they happened. Didn't happen that way. Told you that. Of course, you got a lot of people going on here just because, I heard some people ranting and raving about, why are these people protesting? They're destroying this and that and blah, 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 blah. And don't they see the grand jury's testimony? Don't they see the facts? Don't they see? Those aren't facts, people. Those are lies. Okay? They twist anything. And if you're so naive as to believe that evidence can't be twisted to suit the police force, you're naive as hell. And the thing is if you want to look, if you want to research and look up how many times cops get off, do it. Don't take my word for it. They've been shooting people of color and just everybody since day one. The red man, on the reservations, they wander off or got drunk or something, they just shoot them, roll them in a ditch. So nothing new under the sun as far as shooting people. It's just getting worse. So anything can be dummied up, You can be your own judge about, whether you think things are dummied up, but you can know one thing right now. We live in a friggin' police state in the U.S. And they shoot people with it's like having a license to kill. 007, James Bond, license to kill, no questions asked. It's basically how it is. So why waste my breath on that? If people don't realize it by now, then they're just duped. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I wanted to say hello to everybody, all my friends out there, Down to Earth, Fozzie, and just the whole Natalie and everybody. And Natalie's been sending me some stuff. Appreciate that, Nat. And other people have been writing me, and a couple people have been wondering where I am and this and that. Well, you know what? I'm not like these other guys that are going to be on here every day. Then I wouldn't be Thunder. Then I wouldn't have anything relevant to say. I'd just be spouting off like the rest of these buffoons and be sensationalistic on the news thing. I would just rather talk about things like the state of the world, you know, the state of the mentality of mankind, the state of these people's minds that are allowing this to happen, that are allowing everything to happen. It's just, to me, it's party over. It's pathetic. Can't state that enough. People have just been asleep at the wheel too long. If they wake up now, the bus is already going over the cliff. Got news for you. And it's affecting everybody, and that's why I don't come on here all the time, is because it affects me too. I got my own issues that I have to deal with, and sometimes they're pretty, you don't have any idea what Thunder goes through. Even just, you know, to the fact of, you know, survival from one day to the next on, you know, a monetary level, and, you know, places, you know, a roof over my head and all that. I mean, it's dicey all the time with the corporate people moving in for the kill, for this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So you know what? Sometimes I just ignore it all, because if I pay too much attention to anything, then it gets overwhelming. And sometimes you got to do that, you know. Sometimes you just got to numb yourself, or not numb yourself, desensitize yourself in a certain aspect of your life. You can't be sensitive. I tend to be a real sensitive person. In other words, my sensitivities are heightened. If anything, I got to turn them down, because I feel every little thing going on the planet, and then I feel every little thing going on with me, and I feel everything going on with everybody else. And it gets to be too much, you know? So you got to, sometimes you got to turn down the volume, you got to desensitize yourself, because people that are enlightened or have any kind of extrasensory perception pick up on a lot more than other people do, and they suffer a lot more sometimes. So Thunder's dealing with his issues, but I know you're all dealing with your issues, and you're all dealing with the shit you see coming down out there. That's just, it's just horrific. I mean, it really was kind of a respite to listen to Putin's address today. The State of the Union in Russia, and the things that he was he didn't really dwell too much on. He gave about, maybe 10 minutes at the beginning, and just spelled out clearly that he wasn't going to take any BS from the West. And the rest of the address was about shoring up Russia in all areas. So, including, you know, being self-reliant, mainly. Self-reliance, and he talked about the sacredness of Crimea and a lot of things that people don't understand. I think he talked about the coup a little bit. That's just absolute nuts. And I stand by my last video. My last video might have been my best video that I've ever done as far as analyzing what's going on in the world, and the grand plan of Putin versus the West, and seems to be truing out pretty much. So I got a lot of hits on it. Still getting a lot of hits. So there must be a lot of truth there. It must be making sense to people. You go to some of these other channels, and it's like, you know, they just rehash and hash and rehash the same thing over and over again. I notice a whole lot of trolls moving in, too, especially on Greg Hunter's channel. they're really piling on this guy Gregory Mannarino through his channel, and he didn't even defend him, and he's had him on there several times. So it's just getting vicious, you know. Now, I notice sometimes even on here that I'll get trolls. In fact, sometimes I moderate, sometimes I don't. You know, so if I'm moderating, it might take your comment a while to get up there, okay? But if I'm not moderating, then it'll get on there right away. But if I see a troll, or if I see somebody that I have to make my own judgment calls on whether people are being negative. If they put a one-line sentence on there 2 or 3 times and it's all negative, then that gives you a good idea what they're up to. So I'll just erase their comment unless they got something constructive to say. It's pretty simple, really. It's pretty easily discerned, you know, as to what they're doing. So I have no illusions that there's plenty of trolls out there that don't like what I say. They might look at it like I'm a traitor taking sides with Russia or whatever. I'm not on anybody's side. I just look at the strategy of the whole situation. I look at the strategic outcomes of different people's actions, you know, what the strategic outcomes might be and what might be behind the strategy. It's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like watching a big chess game. How can I get personally involved other than the fact that they make me personally involved when the corporate shit that they do affects my life, and it is affecting my life. So Thunder really wishes he could get out of Southern California. I know I got a friend working on a cabin in Tennessee, but I think it's going to get really bad here, and I want to get the hell out of Dodge, okay? And I'm looking, so if anybody has any eyes to have Thunder around their neighborhood, I'm open to some suggestions, okay? But I know you people love me regardless, so, and I appreciate donations I get. That really helps. So I don't know where this is all going, people, except downhill. The state of the world is going downhill. And the state of the United States is just, to me, it's party over. It's already downhill. It's already just as crooked and backbiting and vicious and lying as you can get. And yet they still try to make it all right. They still try to make it look like it's all good with their sales and their Black Fridays and their Cyber Mondays and Cyber Week. Thank God that's just about over with for now. It's not really, but I heard sales are way down, okay? And the GDP numbers they keep propping out here and lying to us about, and all you got to do is go to the store, like I said before, and you'll see how bad the state of affairs is regards to prices and people's stupidity, and just look around the earth. I wanted to mention that I'm writing a book called Kid, about the Apache Kid. I mentioned that before. You know, it's going a little bit slow, but I've already got 3 books out, one an award-winning book, so I'm just doing this kind of for fun, but hopefully I'll finish it at some point. You guys will get a kick out of it. Certainly not in it for the money. I don't make any money. Trust me. Thunder is Not in the elite class, okay? And would you expect me to be a truth teller and I just thank Great Spirit that I make it from day to day. You know, and that I can come on here once in a while and speak my piece and talk to my friends and hope that you're all still hanging in out there. I know it's rough. It's rough on everybody right now. And it doesn't matter whether you're enlightened or just plain, you know, dumbed down or whatever. It's still rough on everybody. And I think it's rougher on the ones that are like me, that, you know, have a certain bit of wisdom and enlightenment, that see things that other people don't see, and the people that write me that see the same things, the kindred ones, I call you, out there. I know you're suffering too. Take a deep breath sometimes. It really helps, you know. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I just like, man, I don't even want to get out of bed. I just lay there and take deep breaths, keep taking deep breaths, and then finally it's like, okay, I think I can move now. I think I can cope again. Another day in throw the dice instead of paradise. Another day in throw the dice. Because that's where we are now. It's just like a big crapshoot, okay? It's a big crapshoot with all the stuff we got going on. It's like, you know the house of cards is gonna fall anytime, and you just wonder how bad it's gonna be, or how is it gonna be slow? Is it gonna be inflation and deflation and rioting? I mean, we're seeing rioting. I don't know how this thing's going to come out in New York, this latest shooting, and the whitewash of that guy. It's hard for me to follow stuff anymore because I just know it's all bad news. You know, it's all bad news. Nothing gets any better. But you got two incidents, one right after the other, of shootings. You know, what's it going to take? What's it going to take, you know, for people to finally just go, yeah, maybe some people are waking up, but you can't let these protests go on for a day or two and then just go, whoops, okay, or riot for a little bit, and that doesn't do any good. Got to see it through to the end, people. Got to fight like a warrior, fight like crazy horse. For every inch of ground that you can get, okay? You have to be like a warrior. You have to be like Crazy Horse. You have to be like Geronimo. You have to be like the tribal people of this nation who fought for every breath and every bit of food and every inch of land that these thieving bandit outlaw bastards took away. Okay? And that's the way it is in real life, man. You got to do the same thing. You got to be on your toes, but at the same time, you can't let it get you so down. I know. I even get depressed. You know, I get real depressed. I need cheering up. I need people to talk to. So I'm here if anybody wants to talk. And you know, I find that when we talk to each other and we write each other and we get a little bit of email going, it's helpful to me and to the other person. Okay? So I appreciate all the cards and letters, and I know that, and I answer them. I might not answer them every one, boom, 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 like that, because I like to think about things I'm going to say, but we really need to show each other a lot of love right now. It's all about love, people. The best way I can figure it is that, you know, unless you have that, unless you come from the one eye of the heart, chante ishte, the one eye of the heart, unless you're walking the red road, which is the good road, okay, not the black road, but the good road, the red road, and as long as you connect with Great Spirit and as long as you connect with your fellow man, that's all we got, really, until we, you know, leave this existence. So be kind to one another. Be kind to one another, and try to keep your chin up and keep your spirits up. It's important to keep your spirits up. It's important that we all help each other keep our spirits up through these difficult times that everybody's going through. And be supportive. And if you see any trolls on here, knock them off. If I don't moderate, it's up to you people to get on these people's ass if I don't see it. And answer them distinctly and quickly, because I know you guys are warriors. You know, I know some of you guys out there, down to earth, Fozzie, and when I say guys, well, I know some of you are guys like Fozzie, but I don't know whether they're women warriors or men warriors. Doesn't matter to me, as long as you're a warrior. There were some great women warriors in the Apache Nation. Lozan, the great spirit woman who was good with horses and could detect enemy coming from miles and miles away in Goyan. They could fight as good as men, and men didn't even want to mess with them, trust me, not even their husbands. So there's some great women warriors out there, and some great insight given by women warriors, and some great battle that has been done. And then you got the great men warriors, you know, like Katane and Apache Kid and Masai and Crazy Horse, Sitting Bull, and, you know, Chief Joseph, the Nez Pierce, and list goes on and on and on. And these people fought and died, you know. And that's what we're all in this boat together. It's what we do now. It's not, you know, when we're gone, people will say, what did they do when they were here? Will they speak highly of you? Will they hold you in high regard for you standing up, being one of the few that stood up? I hope people hold me in high regard after I'm gone. I hope that my name is remembered as a truth teller and one who actually tried. So be a truth teller, people. Walk the red road and connect with Great Spirit. I'll leave it there today. Just wanted to get on here a bit and say hello to everybody. So this is Thunder from the one eye of the heart, speaking truth. Adios.